Hi, my name is Irina Vakian and this is Tornado TV. Hoover has many cultures, each with its own cuisine. Here's a video of tornadoes and their favorite ethnic dish.
I think hamburgers. I like the tomatoes and the lettuce.
Schnitzel mit Bratkartoffeln. Schnitzel is basically a sort of meat from a pig, and you basically just fry it and eat it with cubed potatoes.
How about a berg? It's basically pieces of steak that's usually seasoned on a grill, then it's mixed with rice, salad, and bread.
Pad Thai is our slim and vegetable and really spicy.
Swedish meatballs and mashed potatoes. It's just super good in Sweden, especially my grandma's mashed potato is really special.
Vareniki. It's kind of like dumplings, and it can be served with potatoes or cherries, so it can be both sweet and sour.
Pozole. It has a lot of stuff like lettuce, beans, meat, sausage. It's a lot of stuff.
Kimchi jjigae, kind of like a stew, and then it contains kimchi, beef, onions, and some other more ingredients that would make it spicier.
Garmier pilaf. It's red rice with meat, and if you want, you can put like sour cream on the side.
I go to
Voja.
Yes, Gertam.
다니고 있습니다.
Miram.
Jag går till...
Ich besuche.
In the biggest gun control protest in the generation, hundreds of rallies were staged on March 24th in the US and the overseas, in a protest known as the March of Our Lives. This is how our reporters captured the event.
To the students, I feel that today will be written in the history books that your children will read. They will see that you were the generation that said, enough is enough and never again. Never again.
Our world stopped on October 1st, 2017. And for a very brief second, so did the rest of the countries. But for the rest of the world, they had the luxury to be able to forget such a terrible thing had just happened. And their lives went on, just as normal. While the world was forgetting, we were still in hospitals with gunshot wounds, still in shock from seeing blood, still in fear from having just run for our lives. I couldn't smile again for weeks.
I will vote. I will vote. I will vote. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out.
will not be subdued, understanding that our voices lead to political change, understanding that people, especially the people in our government, have to accept and embrace that we have a right to safety.
Innocent lives tragically ended by fatal gun wounds at the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.
On this day, I lost 14 of my peers and 3 of my faculty members. We should be going to school to get an education and a future, and not wondering if we are ever going to see that future.
Never again should students be walking the halls wondering if it'll be the last time they do. Never again should we have to ask the question, how many more need to die before we take a stand? Any is too many. Our generation is the future, and we are the change that's long overdue.
Spice up your taste buds with a traditional Mediterranean dish. Reporter Vera prepares Armenian dolma. Bring in your taste buds.
Today we'll be making traditional Middle Eastern dolma. The ingredients you'll need are the following: 3 onions, 3 eggplants, 3 long bell peppers, 4 zucchinis, 1 boiled cabbage, 1 tomato, and for the filling you'll need 4 garlic cloves, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1½ teaspoon of citric acid, also known as sour salt, 2 teaspoons of black pepper powder, 2½ teaspoons of salt, half a cup of oil, 1 cup of rice, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, and 200 grams of 50% fat minced beef. First, start by cutting off the onion's tip and root and peeling it. Peel the zucchinis as well. And then cut the eggplants' heads off and cut each one in half. Do the same for the pepper. However, slice it from the top and remove its seeds. Then start holding the zucchinis and the eggplants. Remember to make a sort of lock for the zucchini. After you're done with all that, place the onions and eggplants in boiling water for around 3 to 4 minutes and then pour the water out so they don't sag. Next, dice the garlic cloves and add it to the rice in a bowl. Then remove the pulp of the onions and let them cool. Dice the tomatoes too, and when they've cooled, dice the onion buds as well and add them to the rice. To that, add the meat and all the spices, then add the tomato paste and oil and mix. When that's done, separate the onion scales and open up the cabbage leaves, cut it to pieces around 3 by 4 inches and remove the hard stem. And finally start filling. However, make sure they're not filled to the full capacity. For the eggplants, insert the open ends of 2 halves into each other to make sure the rice doesn't spill out. Do the same for the zucchini, except with its head. As for the cabbage, place some of the filling at the bottom of a piece and roll it, just like rolling a paper. Everything in the pot must be tightly packed. Something Mom likes to add is about 2 tablespoons of pomegranate molasses. When you're ready to cook it, put a plate on top of all the goodies in the pot and add water until it slightly rises over the plate, or around 2 cups of water. It takes 50 minutes to cook, and before serving, I put Lebanese bread on top, so when the pot's flipped, it absorbs some of the juice. I guarantee you will like this. Enjoy this steamy meal. And now, excuse me, I have some dolma to eat.
Everybody has a passion of their own. Take a look at fellow student Talisa Laronian display her interest in art. Looking for a delicious Italian restaurant in Glendale? Reporter Tina Tukmazian checked out George's Cucina. Here's what she thought about it.
Located in Kenneth Village, George's Cucina is a hidden Italian gem in our community. The atmosphere is inviting and comforting. Enjoy the stained glass window and the unique paintings on the walls. As you're seated, the waitress brings over garlic bread and bruschetta. The bruschetta was light and fresh, however the bread wasn't the most delicious we've had. The menu itself has a wide variety of pizzas, pastas, salads, and sandwiches. You can't judge an Italian restaurant without trying their signature pizza and pasta dishes, so that's exactly what we did. We first tried their caprese pizza with fresh mozzarella, basil, garlic, and tomatoes. While the crust was delicious, the pie could benefit from a good and hearty tomato sauce base. The cheese was piled on as slices of tomatoes topped off the pizza. We all agree that the pizza would benefit from a slightly more cooked tomato versus the raw ones on the pizza. Cooking the tomato would reduce the watery acidity and bring out the rich smokiness of the fruit instead. Total rating for our piece of the pie, 3 out of 5 stars. Moving on to the pasta, we selected the stuffed shells, a bestseller of George's at $11.90. These 3 cheesy shells were definitely the most delightful part of our meal. Tender, cheesy, and dripping in their delicious house tomato sauce, the shells were heavenly. Our rating for them is 5 out of 5 stars. So pick up your glass and say cheers, because we just found our new favorite small business to support. Check out George's Cucina Italiana at 1418 West Kenneth Road.
On March 14, a student-led walkout took place on campus in remembrance of the 17 lives lost in Parkland, Florida. Now, here's a recap of the demonstration.
by legislation. Let us stand as living proof that students do indeed have a say in matters pertaining to U.S. policies, and that youth political activism can truly, properly change on a federal level.
We, SUVER, stand here on this morning as a single cell, standing with schools all around the nation as a roaring single student body. Now, we will commemorate the 17 lives which were taken in this horrific tragedy.
What is a viola? Let Johanna Lina show you what a viola sounds like and how it led her to Princeton University. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Tornado TV. See you next time.